Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
Animals take many shapes and forms and come in a great diversity of sizes. Whether you measure in terms of weight, height, or length, there is no denying some animals are huge in comparison to others in their class. From the giant Brazilian anaconda to the biggest rabbits ever discovered, here are the 10 largest animals that will shock you. Let's begin. Number 10. Giant Anaconda Discovery. Next time you find a snake crawling peacefully in your garden, not harming anybody, you should be thankful that it's not this 33-foot-long anaconda from Brazil. A huge dead snake monster, which weighed in at a whopping 400 kilograms, was discovered by some workers after they carried out a controlled explosion in a cave in Brazil. Pictures from the site were released on the internet and people were completely astonished to see them and questioned if the snake was even real. Unfortunately, it was already dead when the construction workers found him. After making the frightening discovery, the workers chained the animal to a crane and later lifted it up. The internet community was completely devastated seeing it in chains and claimed the builders killed the snake rather than leave it in its natural habitat. But it probably died from the falling debris from the explosions the workers were performing on site. One way or another, humans are always the ones destroying nature. Number 9. 280-pound catfish. There is a common saying that if you teach a man to fish, he will eat for a day. However, this saying may not work for the man who caught a fish that would feed him for a month. In the Po River of northern Italy, a fisherman named Dino Ferrari was out fishing where he succeeded in catching a huge catfish weighing 280 pounds and measuring 8.75 feet in length. Even though it's surprising that the fisherman only used a reel to bring up the catfish, the effort to reel him in took 40 minutes. He eventually let the fish go free to the water since he is a sponsored angler, but to prove that he caught the fish himself, he measured and weighted it at first. The Welsh catfish are from Eastern Europe, but in the 1970s were introduced by anglers to Spain and Italy. They feast on anything they find in the waters, as well as rodents and birds by beaching themselves on the shore. Number 8. The coconut crab. Next up, we have something small. Well, relatively small, but considering that their closest relative is minuscule compared to them, they are positively enormous. Native to the Pacific and Indian islands, coconut crabs are the world's biggest land-dwelling arthropods. They can weigh up to 9 pounds with a leg span of around 3 feet. Just seeing one of these would make even the bravest of men break out in a sweat. It's really hard to imagine that the closest relative of this behemoth is the humble hermit crab. But although the coconut crab is a closer relative of your childhood pet hermit crab, they have been known to eat kittens, rats, chickens, and even each other. They've even been proposed as a possible culprit in the disappearance of the body of Amelia Earhart. The coconut crabs have no shell to protect themselves from enemies, so they have powerful claws and a large body. In addition, their mighty claws let them monopolize the terrestrial hard foods, including coconuts, which other animals are unable to get into. Number 7. Big Bill. Big Bill was a pig who broke the world record for being the heaviest pig in the world back in 1933. He was 5 feet tall and 9 feet long, weighing in at 2,522 pounds. He was owned by Elias Buford Butler, residing in Tennessee. Big Bill was a Pole and China breed of pig, and he made headlines for his massive size. Sadly, right before he was to be featured at the Chicago World's Fair, Big Bill broke his leg and had to be put to sleep. But even to this day, Big Bill still holds his title even after death. Number 6. Big Jake the Horse. If you don't typically spend much time around any horses, seeing one may make you go, wow, that's a large animal. But then you see Jake, the Belgian gelding of Smoky Hollow Farm, and you get completely shocked by its size. Jake is not only the largest horse you have ever seen, but the biggest that anybody has ever seen. And the credit goes to Jake here for being the world's tallest horse, according to the Guinness World Record book. Standing at 16 feet and 3/4 inches tall, measuring at 20.3 hands, the horse weighs almost 1,179 kilograms. That's just too much for a horse, right? Jake was born from 2 average-sized horses and weighed 240 pounds during birth, but there is still no concrete answer on how he got so huge. He eats a bale of hay daily alongside a complete bucket of grain 2 times a day. This amount is way more than what an average horse eats daily, though. Due to his height, his owner had to build a custom stall for Jake to fit in. After gaining the title, the horse became very famous and hundreds of people went to the farm to see Jake, the world's largest horse. Number 5. Hercules the liger. Everybody knows that ligers, crosses between lions and tigers, are quite large animals. In fact, they grow far larger than their respective parents. But when it comes to size, one liger is head and shoulders above the rest. Hercules the liger is residing at Myrtle Beach Safari, South Carolina. Myrtle Beach Safari is also a native home for Hercules, as Hercules the liger was born in the same place. Hercules is the biggest of all the ligers in the world. When last measured in 2013, Hercules the liger weighed around 922 pounds. This is the maximum weight witnessed for any healthy and non-obese liger. This further means that ligers beforehand have been seen weighing more than 1,000 pounds, but all those ligers have been declared obese, so Hercules is the fittest amongst all his kind. At the time of birth, he weighed around 4 to 5 pounds. Hercules gained 900 pounds during the first 3 years of his life, which is almost equal to gaining a pound per day. Number 4. Caplan Ruse the capybara. If you want something truly unique as a pet, have you thought about keeping a capybara anytime soon? The huge rodent can bring lots of excitement, but it is surely not a suitable pet for apartment dwellers. Native to South America, they are the largest rodent species in the world. While it's an animal that clearly stands out in aspects of look and sizes, Caplan Ruse is a large capybara who lives in the town of Buda with Melanie Tipaldos. Caplan Ruse is a lucky capybara and has plenty of space to graze outside, a pool to swim in, and even proper training. Capybaras are not domestic animals, but Melanie worked hard to turn Caplan into one trained domestic capybara. Number 3. Freddy the Great Dane. Many of us have dogs in our houses. They may be of different sizes due to their breeds, and some of them are tall and large dogs too. However, have any of you heard about Freddy before? But before we talk about Freddy any further, it is with a heavy heart that I have to say that the famous dog passed away on January 27th, 2021. Freddy was a Great Dane who stood at 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighed 93 kilograms. To back up his height, Freddy has the Guinness World Record to consider him as the tallest dog in the world. Claire Stoneman, Freddy's owner, always believed that Freddy would become a huge dog because Freddy showed himself to be abnormally large compared to other Great Danes. However, with such size, Freddy still was a typical cute dog that loved eating chicken and peanut butter. Also, he used to love chewing sofas and playing with his owner. We hope dear Freddy is in a better place right now, high up there. Number 2. Goldie the giant goldfish. When we talk about goldfish, we pretty much think about tiny golden fish, reportedly with 1-minute memories, swimming around in a fishbowl. They are never in the conversation when the biggest is being discussed. But there are giants among them. The title of the largest pet goldfish goes to Goldie from Folkestone in Kent, England, who was 15 inches long, 5 inches wide, and weighed over 2 pounds in 2008. The fish was only an inch long when Goldie's owner bought it for 99 cents, and 15 years later, it had ballooned into a record-breaking size, despite being kept in a small tank. However, Goldie isn't the only supersized goldfish. In 2010, a goldfish measuring 16 inches and weighing 5 pounds was caught in Pools Lake by Nick Richards, a 16-year-old from Camberley, England. But the world's longest goldfish is owned by Joris Gisbers and measured 18.7 inches from snout to tail on March 24, 2003 in Harpert from the Netherlands. Number 1. Darius and Jeff the rabbit. How big is the biggest rabbit you've ever seen, huh? I bet it wasn't larger than the rabbit I'm about to show you. Darius the rabbit is currently the world's most giant rabbit and has held that title since 2012. He currently measures 4 feet 4 inches and weighs 45 pounds. But while he certainly tips the scales and is deserving of his title, hot on his bunny paws is his son Jeff, currently measuring in 3 feet 8 inches, but still with 6 months of growing yet to do. Owner Annette Edwards expects the smaller bunny to eventually outgrow his dad. The pet rabbits are members of the continental giant breed. Once bred for their meat, these giant rabbits are now promoted as great house pets. Instead of the usual rabbit hutches, Darius and Jeff sleep in larger dog crates. But if you want to get one of these rabbits, be warned, they eat a lot of food. Annette spends $5,000 per year on 2,000 carrots, 700 apples, and special rabbit food. And by the way, Annette is a breeder of continental rabbits, and Darius is her 4th world record holder. So, what is the largest animal you have ever seen? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.